Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maureen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I made this week and what's coming up. So if you can just kind of see directly behind me, that is my DVF dress, which is Vogue Pattern 2000. So if you have been following my channel for like a couple of videos, or if you've just been here forever, then you know that I had to keep a specific project under my hat for a couple of weeks, and this was that project. So I had started working on it a little bit, like maybe like a week and a half ago, and cutting it and whatnot, and then I started working on it this past week and into the weekend as well. So this is the Vogue DVF Vogue Wrap dress. This is basically, it is a reprint, or no, let me start over. It is a re-release of the authentic vintage pattern to celebrate 50 years of the wrap dress. And I cannot believe, and I say this even though I'm in my 30s, I cannot believe this wrap dress has been around for 50 years. Like, this is such a classic, a closet staple, a must-have. This is always on the list for things you need in your closet and whatnot. And I had no idea that Vogue even collaborated with Diane von Furstenberg to make this when it first came out. And that, you know, this was kind of like something in the vault. So obviously it's a privilege and an honor to make this, but this is a pattern that I plan to keep in my collection, just because you can make this, 7 ways to Sunday. And so I don't think this will be my last wrap dress. I will say though that frankly, me and wrap dresses do not really get along, but me and this wrap dress got along perfectly. And it was the way it was drafted. It's the way it works for my body, for my bust size. Everything just went together like chef's kiss. A few features of this wrap dress: it does have, of course, the sash, the wrap front, which are both, two very iconic things, but it also has the cuffs and the collar, which I think are just unique features to the wrap dress. Because most of the time we see wrap dresses, they don't have the collar, they don't have a cuff. It's just there, or sometimes it'll be faux wrap with ruching. This was totally different. So because I was really excited about this, because I had to keep it under my hat, this was a slow sewing moment for me, because there were so many unique details that I just wanted to get it right, and I wanted it to be beautiful, and I just wanted to be a good steward of this pattern. So if you have a chance, definitely head to simplicity.com and buy or purchase this pattern. It is online only, meaning that you will not see this in stores. So yes, definitely grab this pattern if you can. And as you can see, there's a long version and then the short version. I made the short version, and I talked about this in my Instagram stories. I cut a size 16, which gave me a finished garment measurement of 40.5 inches. I have a 43, 42 bust. And so I always subtract 3 inches from my measurements when I'm working with knit only. And from there, that's how I decide which pattern piece or which size to cut. So that's what I did with this. And again, like I said, this will not be my first or my last DVF dress at all. So if you're curious about my fabric, I did get this from Joann's. It's a rib knit, and I talked about this in a previous video, but this is the same print, and a lot of you guys recognized it on Instagram. This is the same print of their poly satin version, which I also have. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I gotta have this one too. So the only thing I did not like about this fabric, and to be honest with you, I'm glad I used it for a wrap dress where you can't see the insides of it, but I did not like that it wasn't, I guess you could say it was like starch white on the underside, and it was just like so jarring to me. Even if it was just like pink a little bit or something, but it was just very jarring to me, and honestly it took away from the value of the fabric for me. I know that sounds really harsh and really mean, but to me, when I see that an underside is like empty like that, like there's no color bleeding through or anything like that, it just kind of, it's like putting a pin in a balloon, and it just kind of like takes the wind out of my sails, because I'm like, oh, this was basically like printed on white fabric or something. So that's like my biggest pet peeve with this fabric. However, I do love pink and orange together. I think that they're beautiful together. And so not only did I do pink and orange, but then I also kind of did a little twist, and I also added leopard buttons. So if you look closely on the pattern, the cuffs do require buttons. Now, I believe like the cuffs actually require just one set of buttons, like so basically one here and one here. When I was working on the dress, I realized that I wanted almost like a 360 view of the buttons, which I know is such a small detail, but I just kind of wanted that. And so I did a thing where I pretty much sewed the buttons on like both sides of each cuff, which it was an undertaking in itself, but it all worked out, and I feel like my dress is better for it. And I will say that this was fairly easy to cut. I didn't have any stretching in the neckline. I followed the instructions to a T for the most part. You know, there is a facing, so it's not like you just kind of do like a hem. There's an actual facing, especially for the collar line. There's a facing for the sleeve. So there's quite a few details in this. I did put elastic on the shoulders here, and then it asked for stabilizing on the skirt, and I didn't really know how to, like, what that really meant, like in vintage pattern terms. So what I did was I put actual elastic around the skirt, like how you would do for your shoulders, and I feel like my dress is better for it. So there's that. So the second thing that I worked on was I got my bedazzler, or my pearl kit I should say, and I just started like playing with it. So I didn't want to touch the red sweater that I got a few weeks ago because I actually changed my plans for that. So I grabbed a tan sweater out of my pretty much like everything that I had from my Etsy shop. I had one tan sweater that I hadn't added a quote block to, and so I grabbed it. And I was like, I wonder how like the pearls would look on this. And so this was like a practice round for me, but it was also like, I wanted to see how it would come out with like against the sand color versus like a really big pop of color. And I loved it, and I thought it was great. And I decided to keep it and wear it to dinner one night with my husband. So, you know, that was great. And then I kind of jazzed it up a little bit. I added a brooch. I added like a little necktie pin and things like that, just to kind of elevate it a little bit more and not necessarily give the impression that it is an upcycled sweatshirt. So that was the second thing I worked on. And I actually bought more beads because I'm running low and I want to make more things with the beads. So I'm really, really, really excited for that. And if you can't tell, I am dressed for David's bridal. So I'm actually filming this video before I go in today. So the reason why I mention that is because the next things that I'm working on is my all black work wardrobe. So I already started upcycling a couple of things and using a few things that I already had in my stash. And then the other thing is that I did get some Pietra pants printed off at the copy shop. And so I want to make the like ankle pant version and then the wide leg version. And I've made the Pietra pants a number of times. I've made the shorts, I think 3 or 4 times. I have made the pants, the wide leg pants, at least once. So these pants to me work for me. Like I don't have to do any editing with these pants. Yes, I always have to hem, but as far as like doing anything with the rise or the back or whatever, I don't have to do any of that with these pants. And so I guess you could say this is a tried and true for me as far as pant patterns are concerned. But let me show you the pants that I'm already working on. Okay, so the fabric that I have is a ponte knit. It's a black ponte knit, and that was deliberate. I wanted something where I can sit, stand, squat, get down. This is this is honestly like a functional choice that I made, because I didn't want it to be something where I could split my pants because I'm in a woven. And so I cut a size 14 out of these. The pieces are cut. Honestly, because I was working on my DVF dress, I did not get to this in time, but the goal is to work on this over the next couple of days. That way I have some pants to wear on Saturday for work. And then I bought more of this ponte knit fabric to make the wide leg version as well. And then the other thing is I'm working on a couple of detachable collars. This is a free pattern by Tilly and the Buttons, and I talked about this briefly in my easy beginner patterns, but I plan on making like at least 3 of those. I want to make like a black one, a white one, and then like a sequin one, and just to kind of have something to kind of like give the black that I'm wearing a little bit of pop, like no matter what it is, right? So those are some things I'm working on. I'm actually vlogging about this as I'm sewing things up, so hopefully I'll get that video out to you guys fairly soon. But I did want to document that because I know that so many of you were curious about how I would, I guess you could say, how I was going to work out the all black wardrobe, and it's working out. Today I tried to play it a little safe. I have on a sweater. I put a little Chanel No. 5 brooch here. It's not real Chanel, but I think she's cute. And then I did a little button up underneath, and I'm wearing some leggings because it's a little chilly out. And obviously I didn't finish my pants. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, be on the lookout for my all black wardrobe vlog. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, you can hit subscribe. That way you can watch more of these videos. And you can follow me at Raven Maureen on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I'll see you guys later. Bye.